The gang made it to the castle and spoke with Nareth and Blister about the impending attack. They explained that they need to protect the transport ships and give them enough time to flee. Kovik met up with Brevik and told him that Darvik had died. Brevik let him know that Merrick was alive. Mardu met up with Bad Face and told him how much he had harassed Lavero, which greatly pleased Bad Face. The gang convened with Blister's defenders to help set up the defenses and waited for the enemy to arrive. The siege begins. The Goblin defense squads prepped for the arriving airships. City civilians rushed to them to evacuate. The occupants of Harkenveil saw the sky darken as the airships descended from the clouds. The Goblin defense squads fired their arcane bazookas at the incomers. As CBBB geared to attack, they noticed a familiar satyr atop the main broadcast ship. It was Lavero. The ship was broadcasting NLO propaganda from loudspeakers on the sides. The NLO airships began dropping shock troops inside the castle walls, who were quickly engaged by Brevik and others. The drop troops quickly overwhelmed Brevik, who hadn't had enough rest since their last fight. After downing Brevik, one of the troops broke away from the pack and headed towards the escape ships. Blister galloped through the battlefield on his horse and spit magical chewing tobacco on Brevik's wounds, healing him. Bjorn Gorm Jr., who had been on a multi-week bender, awoke in some bushes and summoned his old pals, Bjorn's boys. The wolves ran interference on the ground troops and began climbing the castle walls. Bjorn then enlarged himself and threw a wolf at an airship, only for it to bounce off and land on the ground injured. Garga was fighting one of the giant soldiers valiantly. Before the Goliath's blade struck him down. As an attack ship flew by, Bjorn and one of his wolves managed to leap on board. Bjorn and his wolf overpowered the guards and took control of the ship. Meanwhile, Lavero was fielding attacks from all sides by CBBB and the defenders. His broadcast ship and the attack ships continued to rain fire on the defenders. Each was outfitted with more powerful versions of the arcane energy guns the enforcers carried. Face Bat was summoned to the deck of Lavero's ship, just as his shield was defending him from Barry's blows. As the fight raged, the breakaway soldier was able to cripple one of the escape ships, causing it to crash and explode. The Goblin attack crews continued to reload and fire. However, one of them accidentally detonated their own munitions. Iz ran to help assist the loading of another escape ship that was taking fire from an attack ship. Bad Face continued to chase down Lavero's ship as he tied a rope to his spear and dug it deep in the side and hung on as it flew. Lavero ordered the broadcast ship to fly straight at Harkenveil's core as he thunder stepped off the deck and onto the roof of the castle. This caused the ship to blow up and launched Barry off of it. The crash killed several of Blister's guards near the entrance. The end game. As the dust settled, the gang surveyed the scene and took stock of the damage. Barry let them know that he was going to finish things with Lavero, who was now on the roof. Meanwhile, a squad of Goblin Arcanists took down another attack ship. The defenders cheered as another escape ship took off for orbit, full of evacuees. The NLO flagship, Commodore, settled over the horizon, casting a terrible shadow as it unleashed a volley and killed several town guards. Bjorn, now in control of one of the attack ships, cranked the wheel and sent it careening straight for the dreadnought as he jumped off with his wolf.
With K's all around, one of Darga's backup modules booted up, enabling him to rise to his feet and help others escape.
Barry and Lavero were engaged in a brutal duel on top of the tower. After a vicious back and forth, Barry broke through Lavero's shield and stunned him. As the battle raged, the more escape ships took off towards Dolban. CBBB and many of their allies fled inside the castle to board Blister's personal ship, the Duchess. Meanwhile, Barry attempted to shove Lavero off the roof, but he regained his composure at the last second and caught on the side. Barry desperately tried to pry him off, but as he did so, Lavero teleported down to the back courtyard and away from the fight.
Just then, Blister burst forth from his castle in a custom mech suit, firing on the attack ships. A tech magic salvo of rockets took down one as an enchanted blade cut through another. Despite this, he was taking heavy fire from the Commodore. He jumped off one of the attack ships and landed on the wall. The Commodore took another salvo at him. He crouched on one of the houses.
He sneakily jumped out after positioning his suit and snuck behind Kalar.
Everyone else who hadn't yet boarded the Duchess ran towards the ship and got on. The Commodore fired a whole salvo at Blister's suit and utterly annihilated it, but he didn't see that Blister escaped with Kalar.
A large mechanical hangar roof opened from the top of the castle as the Duchess rose into the air and sped upward.
Blister looked out from the side of the bridge as his own landed. His gaze was met with that of a bloodied Lavero, who swore that this would be the last time they escaped.